You're going to learn more about how to write a survey report. But before we start writing one, we need to understand what a survey is. So, what is a survey? Basically, by asking people questions, you will understand what people think or why they do certain actions. So that is a survey. You design questionnaires and you ask people questions and you learn more about them. So this is a survey. For example, PBL. In your PBL projects, you will design questionnaires and you have a bunch of questions to ask people, your interviewee. And then you collect the data, the information. You can answer, you will use these information, data, and statistic to answer the questions set in your PBL project. So this is a survey. Then what is a survey report? Of course, you conduct a survey, you have data, you have information, you have statistics. Then you need to summarize these information and present your findings to people. Okay, if not, then it will be meaningless to do a survey, right? So you will need a survey report to summarize the findings. A survey report is a summary of your survey. And when you write a survey report, there's a particular structure that you can follow, but it's actually pretty simple. Basically, you will have the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. And in the introduction, you will ask yourself why, what, and how to give the background information of a survey. And then, in the main body paragraphs, you present your findings and analysis. And at the end, you summarize all your points, and if you want to, or if needed, you can give recommendations in the conclusion. Let's take a deeper look in each part. Let's first start with the introduction. As I said, the introduction is for you to give background information of your survey. So there are actually a few questions you can answer to write your introduction, such as these, okay? You can ask yourself what the purpose, aim of this survey is. Okay, and other questions. When did you do the survey? How was the information gathered? What kind of questions did you ask in the survey? And how many people answered your survey, and who were they? If you answer these questions, basically you write your introduction. Let's take a look at this sample by answering the questions that I've just asked. What is the purpose and aim of this survey? Then you answer, the survey is about, the aim of this survey is to understand, to find out, blah, blah, blah. And when do you do the survey? Then you will answer, this survey was conducted on the day, the time. How was the information gathered? Oh, the information was collected through the internet using blah, blah, blah. What kind of questions did you ask in the survey? The survey has several parts, and the first part, the second part, the third part, etc., etc. So you explain the design of the survey. You can also answer how many people answered and who were they. So you answer, there were how many respondents, and they were students, teacher, elderly, teenagers, etc. And at the end, you conclude your introduction with a thesis statement. So basically, a thesis statement is a sentence to summarize the whole survey report, the main idea. You can write like this. In the following parts, findings from this survey will be presented and analyzed. So you conclude your introduction with a very clear sentence. And for the introduction, you don't really need to write a lot of words. Around 50 to 60 words will do. Make sure it's short, clear, precise, and explain the purpose of your survey. Okay. Now we move to the main body. Okay, we'll take a look at one paragraph as an example. In the main body, you need to present your findings. Okay, but before writing a paragraph, always remember to add a subheading. Subheading is a subtitle, so that when readers read that paragraph, before reading your paragraph, seeing this subtitle, he or she immediately will know what you're going to talk about in that paragraph. So a subheading is very important. And then you start with a topic sentence. A topic sentence is one sentence that can summarize the whole paragraph. And then after the topic sentence, you have your finding. You elaborate your findings, you talk about the data and statistics, you summarize the information. After you talk about the findings, you have the concluding sentence to conclude this paragraph, to end this paragraph. basically, you just need to repeat your topic sentence again, but in other wordings. You paraphrase it. Okay? This is the structure of one main body paragraph. Let's take a look at this sample. For example, the topic sentence, from the first part of the survey, we learn more about the most popular celebrity in the music industry. So just one sentence, one main idea. And then you talk about the findings. You can use percentage, you can use fractions, okay? You can use, these to analyze your statistic, the data. You can say how many percentage of the students pick who as their favorite celebrity in the music industry, blah blah blah, and continue and write your findings. Okay, after you finish presenting your findings, you will have one sentence to conclude the paragraph. As I said, rephrase the topic sentence to make it your concluding sentence. You can write like, therefore, a group thought that blah 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 is the most popular celebrity in the music industry. Just one sentence and the paragraph. Alright? And you don't need to write a lot as well. Around 60 to 80 words will do. I'm sure if you try to explain all the findings in detail, you'll write more than 60 to 80 words. So this is the structure of one paragraph, and of course you can repeat this structure and write the second paragraph, the third paragraph in the main body. So one paragraph, one finding, one paragraph, one main idea. Then it will be very clear. It will be well structured, and everything, the ideas will be very coherent in one paragraph. Okay, so you can write 2 to 3 paragraphs in your main body, and then after you finish presenting all your findings, then you have to write your conclusion. Remember, never add any new idea in the conclusion. Do not add any new idea in the conclusion. The conclusion is for you to summarize all the points that you have mentioned in the main paragraphs, okay? So don't add anything new. And also, it doesn't need to be long. Around 50 to 60 words will do. And you can always start your conclusion with these words, like to conclude, in conclusion, to summarize, in short, all in all, etc. And then you summarize the point, okay? First point, second point, third point, the reasons, and then always end your conclusion with one concluding sentence as well. Therefore, blah 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 blah. Alright? So this is how you write a conclusion. And of course, if you like, you can add some recommendations as well. But if you don't add that, it's fine too. So that's your conclusion. Okay, so that's it for the structure of a survey report. Now we'll quickly take a look at the language that should be used in a survey report. Remember, when you write a survey report, always use formal language. Don't use spoken language, okay? Formal written language. Therefore, we don't use contraction. We don't say, oh, I don't like it, it isn't right, okay? Do not use contraction. And then, you can also use passive voice so that it would be more formal, okay, less personal. For example, instead of saying, I conduct the survey, you can say, the survey was conducted, blah, blah, blah. And also, because you need to explain the data collected in your questionnaire, you can always use reported speech to report what the interviewee say, okay? For example, you can say the interviewee said that, blah, 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 blah. So this is reported speech. Alright? So basically that's it. You learn about the structure, the language of a survey report. You should be able to start planning your